former Subway sandwich king.
He told me how he would get children.
How to gain their trust.
The secret tapes that catch him talking about child sex.
I had this little boy. It was amazing.
No one has heard this.
It just felt so good. I mean, it felt so good.
Until now.
What turns you on the most, the young girls or the young boys?
Both of them do. Both of them.
This morning, we are hearing former Subway spokesman Jared Fogle, in his own words, talking about how he preyed on children. Fogle was secretly recorded by a woman who had befriended him, and she became an FBI informant. Dr. Phil obtained the recordings and will air them later today on his talk show. CBS News has independently verified the recordings with the FBI. Vladimir Dudier of our digital network, CBSN, has heard some of what was said on the tape. Vlad, it sounds very disturbing. Good morning.
Good morning. Fogle pleaded guilty to child pornography and child sex charges in August. He has agreed to pay $1.4 million in restitution to 14 victims. These recordings formed part of the evidence collected by investigators, but they are only surfacing now. We want to warn you, viewers may find their content disturbing. In the audio recordings being heard publicly for the first time, Jared Fogle discusses his sexual interest in children.
I like all ages. That's the thing. I mean, I like all of them, you know.
Well, what makes it different? I mean, from one age to another, why just...
Well, it just depends who's ready for what, and you know, who's going to give you the glance, you know what I mean?
The woman talking with Fogle is Rochelle Herman-Walren, a former radio host who interviewed Fogle and became suspicious when she overheard him say he found middle school girls attractive. Herman-Walren told Dr. Phil McGraw she began providing secretly recorded conversations to the FBI.
How did you feel when he said those things?
Disgusting. I felt like I was so dirty. My soul was dirty.
So it's just sharing stories, and then, you know, we get a little closer and a little closer and a little closer, and before you know it, it just starts to happen.
So it's not that hard to do?
No, not at all.
He talks about how to groom a family. He talks about how to groom the victim. He talks about all the things he does, the tricks of his trade. He just basically gives you the playbook of an evil monster.
Hi, I'm Jared the Subway guy.
Fogle became a household name as a pitchman for Subway, and he used his fame to establish a foundation promoting healthy lifestyles among children. In August, Fogle pleaded guilty to 1 count of distributing and receiving child pornography and 1 count of crossing state lines to engage in illicit sex with minors. Subway cut ties with its spokesman following his arrest. In September, the chain said Herman-Walren made a serious complaint about Fogle in 2011, but that it had been mishandled. After amassing 5 years' worth of recordings, Herman-Walren finally reached her breaking point when Fogle mentioned her 2 young children.
What if we put a camera in your kids' room? Would they be okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have it in your son or your daughter's room?
Oh, I don't know. That would be,
Which one do you think would be better?
I don't know.
You tell me.
She had to leave her kids, her family, go off somewhere and do this, come back terribly upset for hours afterwards. And it took a lot of time away from her family and changed who she was. That was a very painful thing for her.
The one thing that I noticed when we were at the middle school was the children were so eager to talk with him and excited to be around a famous person, and I believe he used that to his advantage.
Yeah, and you were concerned that through his work and all of that, that's how he was getting access to kids, and you talked about this. Let's listen to this.
You must go crazy with your travels because you get to go into all the different schools and, all the different things like that. I want you to, I'm sure you have a lot of stories. I want you to tell me some of them so that, I don't know, I like to...
Yeah, especially some in the middle school. I love the middle school when the girls are starting to get,
Yeah.
Because you know how much I love big, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
what's that?
Well, kids are maturing faster nowadays.
I know, which I love. And that's what I think is wonderful with you, is that you're able to get in early. You could totally, you could totally win them over, which is what I love.
Mm-hmm. You like that?
I do love that.
tell me how to do that?
You know, just talk to them, just get to know them, just everything, and just, you know, do a little touchy-feely things with them, you know, make them feel good. And it's a little more touchy-feely, a little more touchy-feely, a little more touchy-feely. And it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that would be amazing.
What
Totally
age?
amazing.
What age seems to be the easiest?
You know, I don't know. I feel like, you know, early middle school is probably one of the best.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know if they're coming or going.
Mhm.
And I could see a young, you know, 6th, 7th grader, you know, this.
And they'd be all right with that?
What's that?
You have to find out if they'd be all right with that.
Oh, no, they'd definitely be all right with that. They're very much into exploring, and, you know, it's just a matter of getting them on your side, you know.
And that's what I'm just curious. I don't know how to do that. Just be friendly to them?
Yeah, just be friendly to them. Just do what you normally would do, maybe, because that's what you're so friendly anyway.
Mhm.
You know, and then we can just sort of go from there. We take it, and I think it's all case by case. You know, there's no right way, wrong way, whatever. You know.
Well, he's thought about this a lot. He's got a plan, he's got a technique, he's got skills, and you can tell he's done this over and over and over.
Yes. At one point, he called me and was telling me about a 6-year-old little girl and that he was flying over to see her. And from the way the conversation was going, it sounded as though the parents were okay with this. And I called the FBI. I told them what was going on, but they couldn't do anything because he wouldn't give me a name. He wouldn't give me the place where he was going to, and all I can envision is him going to this 6-year-old girl and violating her and changing her life forever.
And you know it, but you can't stop it.
That's right. That's haunted me for years.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
Just creepy. I'm sure Subway's
Beyond
trying
creepy.
to Subway's trying to do everything they can to say, look, we have nothing to do with that.
Well, as you may have just seen on the Dr. Phil show, more lurid details tonight from audio recordings allegedly capturing Jared Fogle asking a Florida woman to help him seduce children. 13 Investigates reporter Sandra Chapman has more tonight on why the woman now says the ordeal has harmed her and her children.
Jared Fogle is a monster.
Day 2 of audio tapes on the Dr. Phil show. Allegedly the voice of former Subway pitchman Jared Fogle talking to Rochelle Herman-Walrond about luring children for sex.
You know, just talk to them, just get to know them, just everything, and just, you know, do a little touchy-feely things with them, you know.
Herman-Walrond says she taped the call in 2007, just a year after meeting Fogle in Sarasota, Florida.
After enduring almost 5 years of stomach-turning phone calls with Fogle, he finally said something that pushed her too far.
Will you let me see your kids naked? I would love to see them naked.
Jared.
So which your kids do you think I'll like better seeing naked, your son or your daughter?
Herman-Walrond says she was both frightened and angered. She says Fogle also wanted to install video cameras to watch.
The reason why I didn't say shut up to him and stop him from talking to me, I was in shock.
Dr. Phil praised Herman-Walrond for helping to get a pedophile off the street. The U.S. Attorney's Office handling the Fogle case says Herman-Walrond's information was reviewed but was not part of the initial case. Still, she claims the FBI had her audio and text messages 2.5 years prior to Fogle being charged. She also believes Fogle had an encounter with a 6-year-old girl during that time, but did not have the girl's name or location.
That's right. That's haunted me for years.
The divorced mother now says the ordeal has harmed her relationship with her own children.
They were without their mother for some time. I became a broken person, and to reform that relationship with my children to this day is very difficult.